Good morning everybody and welcome to the closet. I'm doing a little vlog in here today. We're going to be doing some damage in the closet today. A delayed continuation of my spring cleaning, if you will, because this has been a mess and I'm doing something today to rectify it. But I just kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about the closet first because it's one of the pains, one of my big regrets in the house. We've now lived in our house for almost 4 years, which is insane. And this little closet room at the time, like there's a lot more to it, but basically we bought the house while we were still living in Toronto, and before we moved in, we set up this closet room, if you will, and it was going to be my main filming room because of the nature of what I film and post here on YouTube and Instagram and the internet, but also because at the time we were going to be embarking on a multi-month finishing of the basement to build our studio. So I was like, let's just get this room set up before we move in so that when we do move in, we can just have it ready to go and this can be the little filming room. And also at the time, I feel like it's one of those funny, weird things in the influencer space where you like have to have a closet room. It seems like it's a box to tick off as an influencer in like the beauty, lifestyle, fashion space. And so I was really excited to have the space to be able to do this for sure. I had never had something like this before. I'd never done something like this before. I'd never built something like this before. And that kind of begins the chat about my little regrets with this, because if I could go back 4 years ago, I would have done this so differently. There are so many changes that we have made going along, so many things that I would do differently to this room. I also wouldn't have ever done just one wall. I would have made it like a complete space and built in a vanity and made it all functional and usable. At the time I did this because I wanted like an open closet. I loved like all the Pinterest photos that I'd saved of closet rooms and bigger closets had the open shelving and you could kind of like shop it like a store. And I wanted to do it on just one wall because I was like, well, if we are only in this house for a short period of time, this is one of the main bedrooms. I don't want to like totally build in this thing and make it unusable for a future owner or tenant of this home to not be able to use it as a bedroom. So I was like, let me just do the wall. Anyway, long story short, as time went on, we added doors. It's been a whole thing. Here we go. This is the closet as it stands. It is what it is, and she has served me beautifully. I love the doors that we ended up putting on. It's been a delight. But can I also just say that the more space that you have, the more weird, non-existent, self-created pressure there seems to be to fill it. So I just feel like there's just... Anyway, there's not so much that I can do about it now. The deed is done. Money was spent on putting this here. But the one thing that has driven me crazy is that I had actually gone to California Closets to get this put in. Spent a pretty penny on building this little wall here. And the one thing that I had said when I built this closet was, oh, I want to have a built-in closet and, you know, nice clean shelves so I don't see all of those dots. So I didn't actually end up doing adjustable shelves, which was such a mistake because again, I'd never lived in the space. I'd never had a space like this. I wish that I had the foresight to have known that I would want to change things and move things around. So one of the biggest pet peeves that I have about this is that we ended up making the shelves so high and I don't have enough room for all of my shoes and things, and there's just such a large gap where I could have fit so many more shelves in or just done it completely differently to begin with. But again, you live and you learn. So after almost 4 years of staring at this thing and thinking the same things, I finally did something about it. I called California's Closets back and I was like, hello, I know we made this non-adjustable, but is there any way that I can have someone come in and put more shelves in so I have more room for all of my little shoes and things so that they're not disgustingly piled on top of each other, because it's getting ridiculous. It looks disgusting, it looks gross, and it looks like a little hoarder is just shoving things in there, which does seem to be the case. So today, someone is coming in and adding more shelves, which I'm very excited about. And because of that, I thought I would take this opportunity to do the proper completion of my spring cleaning. I need to literally take everything out of the closet. I need to clean the closet. We can declutter. I have so many feelings and things that I want to talk about that have been circulating on the internet, so we're going to talk about that later. But for now, the man's is coming and I got to get to clearing out these shelves. Much better. So clean, so shiny. Now originally this little middle column held all of my shoes and bags, and then, you know, just some overflow hoarding just all along the ground here. And what I'm hoping is that when we do add an extra shelf in between each section, other than like some taller boots that I can hide away, I'm hoping that all of my shoes will fit in the middle column, and then this little section here where more shoes are hoarding and hiding, I'll just be able to keep all my bags, and then that'll be done. So I need to also do a little think on my bag collection, if you will, because I've been having lots of feelings about that. But that's the plan. That's the hope. That also took me 5 minutes. I don't know why I thought this was going to be such a greater undertaking. In my mind, it seemed so much more difficult. Well, since that didn't take as much time as I thought whatsoever, we can just move on to the next, which is actually also completing the little spring closet switch over, which, because it is officially spring and the weather has been so delightful, I wanted to put away some of my winter stuff, my heavier winter stuff, which I actually already did with my coats. I took all my like heavy winter coats and I put them in our spare room closet, and then I figured I would just put my turtlenecks and like chunkier sweaters away because, unfortunately, turtleneck season is over. So I just have these little bags. They're like the under the bed storage bags from IKEA, and I did the same thing last year. And I just take my big chunkier, very warm turtlenecks that will not see the light of day until next winter away. And technically I don't actually need to do this maybe until summer, because I have a lot of like my very hot weather summer items in another bag and I just kind of swap them out. It's definitely not that season yet, but just because I want to go through my clothes and like see what I have, mull it over, I can put the winter stuff away now, go through and decide what I want to keep for next year. So I always keep my chunkier sweaters over here. These friggin' turtlenecks, you guys. Oh, I love them so much. These are my Ray turtlenecks, and Ray was the brand by Matches Fashion, and they've gone under. They said, see you later. Ray is no more, and it's so sad because they made such beautiful, like cool girl basics. Like, where else would you find such a succulently oversized, thick, gorgeous wool turtleneck? Like, the quality of their pieces was so beautiful. Obviously, it was like on the pricier side, but the quality matched the price, in my opinion. You know, like there's very few items in my wardrobe that like match this exceptional quality, and these turtlenecks like hardly pilled whatsoever in comparison to so many of these other like super expensive cashmere items. These were like everything. Ray, RIP, we miss you forever. Whenever I put all my turtlenecks away, I'm like, wow, I really live in turtlenecks, because that takes up like half my closet. And just my bigger, chunkier, like really hot knitted items can also go in here. Just like that. Winter's packed up and gone. Back down on the floor, and I wanted to take a little look-see through my bag collection and have a little chat with you, because I've been considering parting with some things, and it's kind of because of everything that's been swimming around the internet recently. If you guys are logged into TikTok, really, you would be seeing this. If you're not, maybe you have no idea what I'm going to talk about, but there's kind of this whole really big discussion surrounding luxury goods, and I have been glued to every second of it. I've been obsessed with it, and it's no secret that I love me some nice designer items. It was never a part of my vocabulary before. I never grew up with fashion. I had no sense of style whatsoever. I was completely tuned out of that world growing up. As soon as I entered like the influencer space back when I was in university, and then as I entered adulthood, like that was a totally new world for me. I didn't know anything. I never watched Clueless. I never watched Sex and the City. I didn't know what a Manolo Blahnik was. Like, this entire world was new to me, and you can literally go back to like, I think it's 2017 where I did my closet tour, and I had like, it was a capsule wardrobe. Let's put it that way. And then as soon as I entered it, I feel like every influencer who maybe didn't grow up with money definitely goes through that phase where you just want to buy everything. Like, I went through my Gucci belt, Gucci t-shirt phase very early on, for sure. And as the years go on and as the trends go on, obviously there's a few token items that you can be like, oh yeah, every influencer was wearing that. We saw that everywhere. Had to have it. It was that had to have it kind of mentality for so many items. And definitely as I've become more comfortable in my style, as I've grown into my style, and as the years have gone on, where I've been more in this space, I think I can definitely say that I've continually discovered what my personal style is and what items look good on me, what I feel the best in, what pieces that I love, and I love it. I love to be a consumer of fashion content. I think it's so beautiful. I think humans have always loved clothing. We've always loved decorative things. Everybody does inherently have their own sense of style. We all gravitate towards what we like, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. But I will say that the prices, like the inflation of luxury goods, has gotten so insane that it actually, like, it just hurts my eyes to look at. Like, there's the whole Hermes of it all, where people are like entering lotteries to try and buy a bag, and that's something that I've never taken part in. I've never, I don't know, I never loved Hermes bags. I don't know what it is. I think the little like mini Kellys and all the fun different colors, they're so cute, but I'm like, if it doesn't fit my phone, what is the point of that? Like, the Hermes bags have just never tickled my soul, but I appreciate people's, you know, attempts at getting one, I guess. I'm like, if I walk into a store and I can't buy something, I don't want to give that store my money. You're telling me I have to buy blankets and plates in order to be qualified to buy one of your bags? Like, hell no, that kind of thing I've just never been interested in. But even when it comes to like the Chanel bags, the Dior bags that I love so much, and I think there's so many beautiful pieces that I'm like, oh, what a treasure. The prices have just gotten insane. I was looking, okay, one of the like more recent Chanel bags. I was like, wow, this is so pretty, how nice. $12,000. What? That is 2 saunas. I could have 2 saunas for that amount. Like, I don't know what's going on. And it might just be my age now, where you just see the price increase gradually go up, and then suddenly like, whoa. Like, even when it comes to makeup, the makeup prices are just, it makes me nauseous. When I look at a new eyeshadow palette or a new foundation, I'm like, why is it $80? It's the same thing. I mean, it's all of it, honestly. I feel like the world's just, because even when we go out to eat, you want to go buy an omelet, $30. Plus when you have to tip, it's like 30% tip. In what world? Oh, it gives me a headache sometimes when I think about it. When I think about it too much, when I look at it too much, it gives me a little headache. But I love the discussion around it. I do think it's crazy and it's fascinating. And that whole idea of what the value and what the price is of an object is like, when it comes to art, it's like, yes, this plain canvas with a little line drawn down it, $2 million, and you're like, where did that value and price come from? But the value comes from whatever people will pay for it, right? Listen, I could truly talk about this forever. I know I don't talk about it too much on my YouTube channel, but that's because when I speak about things, my brain just explodes and I go in a million different directions. It's hard for me to, you know, stay on one thing. But I do really love watching so many videos of people talking about all of these topics. But one in particular that I loved and that I know so many people saw was Lydia Millen's video, where she said she's selling all of her bags and she was getting rid of all of her Hermes bags. And I don't know like what the greater plan is there. You know, as a longtime viewer of Lydia Millen, and like I used to be, oh my god, I was obsessed with her. Back when she lived in her old cutie little townhouse and she would do her luxury hauls, the best of her bag collection, like I was obsessed. We all were. It was definitely that phase, that like old school YouTube phase where we were all like, oh my god, yes, new in luxury, tell me everything that you're buying, I want to see it. And so when she posted that video, oh my god, immediate click. I was like, no fucking way, she's getting rid of all of her Hermes bags. That's crazy. That's growth, girl. I was so agreed with so many things that she said, and obviously over the last few years I've been feeling that a lot, and probably not to the same degree, but you know, there's a lot of things that I have sold and passed on, a lot of items in my collection, if you will, where I'm like, damn, you know what, I spent way too much money on this, and because of that, I feel scared to wear it outside. To be honest, I never even considered like the robbery aspect of it, because I don't think I ever had pieces that were like that expensive that's worth being robbed, but I definitely feel that whenever I wear my wedding ring, I feel like a, oh my god. So if I lost my ring, like if the diamond fell out, like it makes me ill thinking about it. The fact that you have an item, like a piece of clothing or a piece of jewelry that you need to have insurance on, like that kind of concept is kind of crazy, and it sometimes makes me feel like I'm insane for having done these things. So anyway, I agreed with so many things she said in that video, and like seeing so many people's responses to that, I've just really been enjoying the conversation. And I think, yeah, the way it's going, the prices of items, I just can't wrap my head around it. I can't, it blows my mind. Like I have, you know, one of my favorite little pieces that I found. I bought this, I think it's from the 2015 or 2016 collection. I bought it back in 2021, this gorgeous little Chanel bag. I love it. I look at it and I'm like, oh my god, you are so special. You are so beautiful. The colors are so fun. The leather chain, like it's just gorgeous. But this is one of the pieces that I feel scared to wear outside. I feel scared to like put it anywhere. I'm scared I'm gonna do anything to it. I'm scared someone's gonna steal it out of my hands. This is one of the things where I'm like, why? Oh, I hate that I feel this way, but also like it's a treasure that I want to hoard and keep forever. So I'm trying to like have these conversations with myself being like, I did buy this one secondhand, and seeing the prices of these bags go now, like this is something that today in 2025, oh my God, I would never buy. I sold my brown leather medium classic flap Chanel bag last year because A, I never wore it, but B, I'm looking at the bags now and what they cost. I'm like, I wouldn't pay that. I would not buy this now. I definitely love me a designer piece, okay? I love me a nice luxury item, but I've got a limit. There's a ceiling at which I am willing to spend my money on these things. And you know, I joked when I sold that being like, literally this is a sauna. And there's so many brands that make beautiful quality items that aren't at that like upper tier of designer cost. Like for example, this little gorgeous Tory Burch bag I bought. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's just spectacular. It's so unique. I loved it so much. I got it in their spring sale and it wasn't like $8,000. Like if this bag was at Chanel, what would that cost? What would that cost? If this was an Hermes bag, it would be like $40,000 special ostrich, blah, blah, whatever. Like, you know, another bag that I bought recently that I'm obsessed with. Oh my God, I can't get enough of this. This sweet, succulent leather Zara bag. It's this beautiful, like eggplant, purpley burgundy color. It's a big slouchy pouch bag. It's perfection. The quality, honestly, is amazing. Like it feels so sturdy. The stitching is so beautiful, and I know a lot of you guys have been messaging me because I think it is sold out on the website now and I feel so badly every time I wear it, but I'm like, no, this bag is perfect. This bag is perfect. It's leather, it's gorgeous, the color is everything, and I don't feel ill about how much money I spent on it. So I think this is also just definitely this new phase of life where I'm entering. Maybe it's maturing, if you'd like to call it that, but there's just things that I kind of value more. Like I'm really having more fun with clothing. I'm enjoying like adding more color and being a little bit more playful with my outfits. And I do get so excited by new items and I get so excited about new trends that I see. But I just think I'm kind of rethinking my approach to purchasing new things and like these high ticket items where I just can't wrap my head around the prices of designer goods these days. It just keeps going up and up and up, and I'm like, is this gonna stop? And there's just way too many beautiful things that are just like so much more reasonable. Speaking of price increases, I feel the same way about my Bottega Pouch bags, which I love so much. I have 3 of them and I use and love them truly, truly. I've been thinking deeply about my leather pouch bags because kind of in the same vein as the Chanel one, I'm like, why are the prices of these bags literally double than when I bought them just a few years ago? What's going on? Like they're beautiful, they're stunning, they're everything. But for example, I have my gorgeous flattered leather pouch that is so beautiful. It is a fraction of the price. And I could have one in every color for the price of one of these. And listen, I've seen a lot of dupes of these little pouch bags and the Jody bags and basically just any of these woven leather. We went to the leather school in Italy, in Florence, and you can like order a bag like this that's handmade, beautiful quality, and you can get it custom made. You can have whatever shape you want, whatever color you want. You can get a fully custom made bag wherever you are in the world and have it shipped to you for a fraction of the price. And then this whole discussion just leads you down a path of, well, we all know that labels and designers and these things are the sole reason of why the price is so expensive. Like Chanel is expensive because it's Chanel. Dior is expensive because it's Dior. Bottega is expensive because it's Bottega. And we put the value in that ourselves. And every once in a while, you know, I see a special little piece like this little Dior bag and I'm like, that must be mine. And I'm not saying that this won't happen again in the future. Like there may be a bag, you know what? There's a Prada bag right now actually that I just think is so, so fabulous. It's their little slouchy pouch bags that has these little bedangly chains on it. Love, obsessed, beautiful. This one saw beautiful. And I love to watch runway and I love that world. I think it's so fun to just witness that world exist. Anyway, shout out to you, Lydia, because loved watching your video and it definitely like reaffirmed many of the things that I've been feeling and thinking about over the last little while. And I felt very inspired by that video and very inspired with that direction. And with that spirit and energy, I'm going to be doing a huge declutter today. I need to mull over my thoughts on a few of my bags and some things, but I want to continue with that spirit and continue with that discussion as I go into my closet declutter. So if you guys, there's gonna be a big wave on Depop, let me tell you. There's a lot of things that I wanted to post from the last closet declutter that I did that I hadn't posted on Depop, but this week is the week that I'm doing that. So I'm gonna go through, decide what I'm gonna part with, and I'm gonna be doing a nice nice big sale on that. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you guys have been tuned in and seeing the same videos and TikToks that I've been, what are your thoughts on that? Please sound off in the comments down below. Let's have a chat about it. And we got some work to do. We'll come down to the basement and it's time for the glorious task of taking photos of everything for Depop. Truly one of my least favorite activities. I could never have a clothing store in my life or a clothing brand because I don't know how they have the patience to do like the e-commerce shoots. And I'm just gonna time lapse through this moment because LOL, but I'm gonna hang everything, get everything up, and I upload them straight to Depop. And a lot of you guys ask me why I use Depop and not things like Poshmark. Truly, it was just because back in the day, all my fave UK influencers at the time were using Depop, and that's when I made it. I think I started selling my things on Depop in like 2017, and it's just, you know, why switch? Same, but different. So yeah, I'll link my Depop in the description box down below if you wanted to shop any of these things, because this is a crazy pile. We went hard. We went hard on the declutter. So let's just go forth and take the photos and upload. Okay, Sweet William Closet Man's just finished. Look at it! Look at all those extra drawers. Ah. Yes. Now, he asked me if I wanted to do this, and I was like, LOL. Again, like I told you, this is the one thing that I was trying to avoid when I originally built this closet, but he did put the holes in. He put the holes in so that I can adjust any of the newer shelves if need be. All of these are removable and adjustable. So, again, you live and you learn, you live and you learn. And there she blows. Look at that! Oh my god, I'm so much more organized and clean. I put a few boots. Where am I pointing? There. Just hiding in the corner, and that's just the way it's gonna be. But I did put some bags up on the top because, you know, they fit. The other bags there, and the rest of the shoes all nicely laid out. And I was looking at this and I'm like, wow, I have the same shoes. Yeah, it's kind of a nice clear image of the things that I have, and I'm like, wow, I can downsize that for sure. There's certainly a lot of these shoes that I do not wear, but I feel like I can breathe again. All of these individual little organizational bits and steps just make me feel like I'm slowly but surely getting partially put together. Yay! Oh, I'm so happy. I've been sitting on this for a long time. And now I actually have an event tonight. This evening, and I was dwelling in the basement for far longer than I had intended to. And the day has just left me. I had showered and washed my hair this morning and then did nothing. I should have just curled it right away. Then I wouldn't be stuck in this pickle where I'm like, LOL, how quickly can I get ready? But I did manage to get a lot up on Depop, which I'm really happy about because, as you guys I'm sure are sick of hearing, it's just a time-consuming little task. So I'm going to try and quickly just throw on my little face of makeup. I added the Danessa Meyerix primer because I just feel like I needed an extra little burst of something. But listen, as the day has gone on and as I was doing the Depop and posting some things, it's so funny because I'll like declutter something, and then when it comes time to actually posting it on Depop, I'll like look up the item, try and find nice photos of it, and then take my own photos of it. And sometimes by the time I like finish the little listing on Depop, I'm like, no, I want to keep it. I'm gonna keep it. It's always such a battle against my hoarding tendencies and any sentimental bits or moments that I might have attached to certain things. But ultimately, as I was doing it, I had a few hours to ponder about what we chatted about, and I feel pretty good about it. I was talking to Dan about it too, and it was really funny because I was talking to him about the Bottega Pouch bags, and he's like, you need to get rid of the green one. What do you mean? And I was like, I love the green one, but the reality is I spent a pretty penny on it. And it is a towel. It's cotton. It's not gonna last. There's gonna be some point where it gets like stained beyond repair, or, you know, it's gonna disintegrate. Like cotton isn't a long lasting forever material against the sands of time. Oh, but it just brings me so much joy. I love to pull it out in the summertime, and especially if we go on any trips or go anywhere warm, I just love it. So that's one that I just couldn't bear it. I couldn't bear to say goodbye to it. But I was also thinking of like the other things that tie us to products like these, and you know, something that's really big and spoken about a lot is just like the celebratory purchase of something, kind of a memento, or celebrating a milestone, or celebrating an accomplishment. And as Lydia talked about in her video, kind of tying your success to the material goods that you have. And it actually reminded me of another little TikTok trend that's going around, but something that's constantly on my mind is people right now are posting all these videos where they're doing a little compilation or a slideshow of the things that they love, like the non-materialistic things that they love, kind of sentimental, loving moments. And the text overlay says, "I almost forgot that this was the whole point." And sometimes I think of those sayings like, "Oh, you know, you can't take it with you when you go." Although the Egyptians in their bedazzled tombs could say otherwise, because they're taking their things into that tomb with them. There's just nothing wrong with celebrating yourself and treating yourself to something that you love. I think as long as an item sparks joy and it's within your means and it's something that you look at with love all day long, it brings you joy, you want to use it, you feel better and confident when you wear it. Like, all of these magical little things can happen when you have items that you love. But I just think for me, there's just gotta be a limit. Sometimes it's just too much. Like, at what point is it just not worth it anymore? Like, I definitely have some sentimental ties to a lot of my things. Like, I have certain things that I got for my wedding day. I love to purchase things when I'm traveling because every time I look at it, it kind of brings me back to that moment or the joy that I might have been feeling in that moment. And if you're celebrating yourself in your career or a specific milestone or accomplishment, like, there's nothing wrong with that, because every time you look at that item, it's going to be tied to that moment. But it doesn't take away the fact that that moment happened without it. We can happily exist just because, you know, spending thousands and thousands of dollars on something doesn't necessarily make it more special. Like, you can have little trinkets and little things that cost nothing, or little gestures, or just nice memories in general that can remind you and take you back to certain moments. You know, some of my most cherished, treasured items are the things that my family members have made for me. Like, I have a few paintings that my mom has made for me. My little sister Anya made me a ceramic statue of Meryl. And there's just certain photos and memories and things that I have of Dan and I that I'm like, ugh. We have a photo of us from our first trip to Palma in Mallorca, and I had posted it on Instagram, and someone painted that photo and sent it to me. And that is like one of my favorite things and items that I own. And every single time I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is a treasure. This is magical. I would run back into the burning house to grab you, kind of vibe, you know? But so sometimes when I look at these luxury goods and I'm like, if anything were to happen, I'd only be grabbing you because of the amount of money that I spent on it, not because I necessarily care to lose it. Does that make sense? Sometimes I do stress about the way that I word things because I overthink what I say on the internet far too much, but hopefully you guys are catching my drift. I feel like I just embarked on a little journey of soul cleansing today and had a nice, real, honest chat with myself about what I'm holding on to and why I am doing it. And all of that tied together with a lovely little closet clean. So thanks for coming on this emotional little roller coaster with me today, friends. Oh dear. Oh dear. I just can't get enough of the Chanel boy. Let me tell ya, oh boy, oh boy. No, I don't think I can possibly leave my hair like this. Something must be done. Do you ever put an outfit on and think, well, that doesn't make sense, but like, I kind of like it at the same time, so, like, you know what? I think it's cool. Zara, Zara. Zara, Zara. I simply couldn't proceed with my hair the way it was, so I am pinning it. And I'm just gonna drive in my pins. Armene is actually coming with me to this event, and I couldn't possibly show up with undone hair if not for my sweet Armene. What a terrible representation I would be of her fine work if I did that. So I was about to leave it and just tuck it behind my ears as I do on a normal lazy day, but at the end of the day, these little pin curls take me 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna do it. And we're gonna drive together like this.
I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I got 20.
Made it, guys. I just parked. I am so thankful that I just got a spot right out front. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Gonna head in, I'm meeting Armene, and we're gonna go to the little Reformation store opening. How exciting! The Vancouver girlie's getting Reformation. Hell yeah, hell yeah. We left the event and we thought it would be a great idea to go for a run. We're regretting that now, but getting it done. How long is that, Armene?
6:10.
6 kilometers, guys. The longest run I've ever done. Thanks, Armene. Armene's a running pro.
Absolutely.
She's forcing me. I kept looking at her being like, stopping here, and she's like, no, keep going. I'm like, anyway, listen, I had just parked at Bow, and we've been using Bow as our change room these last few. It's the perfect spot. It's right off the seawall, yeah.
No elevator, nothing.
Oh.